3, 2,
Hey
go.
guys, welcome to Reactaholics. But you might notice we are missing all women. Tonight is a stag night. We will be our most proper selves, and it's going to be a million times more sophisticated.
Yes.
I just drank spaghetti juice. While dressed as a red panda. We, of course, have the epic voice guy, an overall pretty beautiful guy. It's John Bailey.
Why do I get top billing? Like, seriously.
Dude,
Don't-
you're
no
beautiful.
pressure.
You're beautiful. It's okay. John, you're pretty. You're good.
I don't feel pretty right now, okay?
John, listen to me. You're beautiful. You are going
And
to...
darn it, people like me.
Correct.
Strong. Smart.
All right.
Thank you very
Thanks for being on the
Be
show.
gone.
Ron,
You're welcome.
you
Give
are
me
the
my
most
money.
chill man I know, yet you also lead an army of sand dwellers. But you know what? You will always be the king of sand people, Ron. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Neil. And you know what? Shout out to my sand people. We're going to have a good show.
And last but not least, our newest member, this is Kylor, Kyle Downing. And I know that he's going to be popular because he once went around a convention. I left him alone for 2 hours. When I came back, he had a whole crowd surrounding him. And they were only watching him because he would do a little dance and then point at a trash can. He had a Harley Quinn and a Catwoman, like, bowing before him.
My goodness.
I didn't get it either.
And of course, I am the only red panda of the bunch. I'm also the only doctor of the bunch. I am Dr. Knealetapus.
How does a red panda get a doctorate?
Shut up. But I am wearing this red panda suit because we got 300 views on the last one, and if we ever get up to 1,000, I will dress up like, I don't know, a turtle.
I'll dress up as Pennywise. We can fight each other.
Kyle will dress up as Pennywise. I'll be a turtle. Oh, that's a reference to the book. You're smart. All right, so you guys want to get started? Any announcements, Ron?
Yes. Believe it or not, guys, this is actually a thing. Warner Brothers has announced that Joaquin Phoenix will star as Joker in the solo Joker movie directed by Todd Phillips.
You mean Java Quinn?
Yep.
like this. Oh my gosh!
You gotta be able to handle curveballs, bro.
I mean,
gosh darn it.
he isn't my first choice, but do you guys think Joaquin Phoenix can do it? And Kyle, since I can understand that look you're giving me, go ahead and Google who Joaquin Phoenix is.
Oh, wow.
Don't tell me
I
that.
think he's going to be great. I mean, he is a phenomenal actor. I still think Leonardo DiCaprio would have done a much better job. And a lot of people,
Agreed.
when I asked this question, a lot of people are like, oh, Willem Dafoe. I'm like, yeah, maybe old Joker from Dark Knight Returns if they made that into a live action movie, but he's like too old to do it now. But yeah, other than Leo, I think that Joaquin's like a great choice to make it. If they want to make it serious and use a really good actor to do it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Joaquin Phoenix can definitely handle this. Like,
he does. He's played crazy really well before. Just saying.
I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for the Joker origin film. I know a lot of people are worried because the Joker is supposed to be a mystery, but you know, we got a good director, we got a good actor.
Done it before with Under the Red Hood, so like, I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see this origin. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get the original Red Hood. Like, I would love to see it.
I would watch that.
I would love to see that scene of him falling into
That'd be
the
something.
acid.
That'd be something else,
That'd
actually.
be something amazing. Any opinions, Ron?
I say this because, like, no matter what, you bring up Joker for anything, everyone will always talk about, Heath Ledger. That comes with the territory. But I dig what Warner Brothers is doing with this. They said that this is going to be a gritty origin of how he became what he was. And you know what? I'm fine with it. I love Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, one of my favorite movies from him is Walk the Line. So,
oh yeah,
I'm down with.
I love Dewey Cox. He's great.
Walk
hard. It's the cheapest drug there is.
I know exactly what you're talking about too. So you know what? It's you can't just scoot it over the rug. You got to at least give it a chance. So I'm down for this.
I mean, I can't believe DC's doing a gritty movie. It's like dark and brooding. Like such a change of pace for DC movies.
It's almost like they're copying the Marvel TV shows or something.
We're just doing the only thing that they do: dark, brooding movies.
All right, Kyle, did you figure out who he is?
Yeah, having just Googled who Joaquin Phoenix is, he does look like he could play the part well.
You still don't know who he is. You just know what he looks like. You've never seen Gladiator? Jeez.
Oh, no, I've actually not seen that.
Oh, come on. Why are we pulling in non-movie fans into this thing? Everybody should have seen Aurelius, Octavius Maximus Aurelius of Vesuvius III.
Hey, we know some classic movies. Like, didn't we all talk about...
You guys remember that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? You guys sound like friggin' Tom Holland.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Moving on, sorry.
Topic number 2.
Lando?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised we got this. I really am. We got a director for the Black Widow movie.
Yeah,
there we go.
We just talked about this last time.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, we're shaping Hollywood right here, folks.
John Bailey, the director of Black Widow, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. I will let you down.
And now that this will be a thing, is it too little too late?
No, I don't think it's too late. I mean, she's still alive, so.
I mean, I think Black Widow story. Like, I'm gonna go see it. It's Marvel. But
I'm gonna go see it like that.
So Kyle hasn't seen Infinity War yet.
I didn't say anything.
No, you didn't say anything. It's okay.
I didn't say a thing.
Past for 2 weeks.
It's okay. It's just for some reason after that snap, I wasn't feeling so good.
Oh,
Kyle,
I don't want to go.
You poor boy.
Yeah, you're really not gonna like one of my topics. You should maybe go and watch a movie right now.
We're fine. We'll be okay.
You haven't seen it by now? It's all your fault.
I gotta catch up on some of the
blame
Marvel
nobody
movies.
but yourself. You could probably see this in dollar theaters at this point. I mean, come on.
So, Black Widow. We've already talked about how a Black Widow movie can work. Literally in the last episode. Go check it out.
Like, wow.
So,
government's watching, man.
Yeah, no, I actually did Google the director. I think they've done some amazing stuff, and I'm pretty excited for this.
I don't Google people. I don't want to get in trouble.
Kate Shortland. That's her name. And this will be her first superhero movie, so who knows how this will go.
What else has she done? For those who don't know.
She's done movies that I have never seen before, like very independent, but apparently they're critically acclaimed. So she's done her work, but I wonder if she can do this. You know, that's a good question, because I know Marvel has their own formula, and some directors don't like that. Like, you stick to this way. So who knows how this can go off, you know? The fan base is there. The drive is there. But I just feel like has the train left. That's my only thing.
Ron, if you're asking, is the movie going to fail, the answer is no. It's Marvel.
No, if it's Marvel, there's no way it's going to fail. They've made talking raccoons and magicians into full-fledged, actual profitable movies. As long as they go with actual Black Widow and not Blonde Widow, I'm cool with it. I don't think they should pick up. I'm being serious. They shouldn't pick up. I mean, other than the idea, which you'll have to go back and watch the last episode. Other than that idea of like finding out that stuff in between movies. That idea I'd be okay with, but otherwise I think it should go back to our actual normal, like the Black Widow we all know.
I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I honestly feel like, and I'll say this and then you can go, Kyle. I honestly feel like it's probably going to be an origin film because we've seen a little of it. I think they're going to.
They've alluded to it, so yeah, I agree. That was what we talked about last
time.
Kyle. I feel like the movie will be a success, and it does seem like it will be an origin film. I don't know much about it.
Well, to be honest,
well, nobody does yet. So
even though I know Black Widow's origin, and I know John does, because he brought it up in the last episode. Go check it out.
I did. Go check it out now.
Yeah.
Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Go join our Kickstarter and support us.
Oh my goodness, that comes later.
Yeah, so we did briefly talk about that. You have made me lose my train of thought, John. You were saying Kyle just finished. I can't even remember.
Is yours.
Yeah, finish your thought.
Well, I was finishing a thought.
Apparently not. All right, next thing. Lando.
I can't think of the thought.
Lando. Talk about Lando.
What about his opinion on it? You didn't even skip it in for.
Ron said his opinion.
Is that it? Oh, I thought he'd have more to say.
The last thing I have to say about this, I got one last thing if y'all want me to.
Yeah.
We want you to.
I'll say this, and because I know people, still the Black Widow, I feel that, and the final thing I'll say about this is that I've always been a fan of hers. I've been down with her. And I was upset originally when Marvel didn't give her proper respect of selling with the toys. I feel that you can't waste this. And I felt that train sailed so long ago. And I'm at the point now that I'm okay. I'm okay if I never got a Black Widow movie because I feel like I know her. It doesn't mean I don't want to see it. But now that we got it, I'll always stick with this until I see the movie. What more can you give me? What more can you give me that will make me say, man, y'all should have done this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It should have been there so long. Or will I just watch and be like, okay, that was fine. And
all of her scenes are awesome. So, if they actually show us the stuff that she's alluding to about the whole, how she got trained and the red in her ledger, I'd still watch that. But I agree though. I'd be like, why didn't we see this a long time ago? I guess because she's got more free time now because she dropped out of that trans role thing.
I agree. I think we should have got this in phase 2, but here's the thing. I'm just glad we're getting it at all.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so now final thing. I've been alluding to it, not subtly.
Lando.
We got to talk about Lando.
Do we have to talk about it?
We can briefly. John, did you just want to stand there and go, yeah?
They're bringing Lando back. Yay! The end.
that's my reaction.
Well,
they're gonna. Worst case scenario, they're gonna bring him back just to kill him off, like they have done every single character from the old movies.
And they're going to do with Leia, obviously.
Well, they kind of have to with her. Situation's unique.
But here's the thing, though, and I'm wondering this, and it's sort of why I'm the one bringing this one up and not Ron. Do you think that Lando is going to be like a Han Solo surrogate character in the new movies?
Do you mean no, I don't think so.
Well, I think he might. For example, I don't know if you remember, but when
I don't think Kylo's gonna be calling him daddy anytime soon. Man.
Oh no, not that. But
he's going to be there purely for the old school fans and for the nostalgia. That's literally going to be it.
So you think he's really not going to have much of a character in the new movies?
He's not no offense, but he's not super important. A flying monkey could have done his job. to quote Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder, any character could have done his particular role in Empire. If he hadn't done what he did in Empire, everything would have been cool in the first place. He didn't have to freaking side with the dark side in the first place. I'm just saying, he's not like a super pivotal character. It's not his story per se. I mean, we kind of have our core cast, and now we have, less than half of our core cast left. So he was just kind of an extra character. You know what I mean? He's not like super important to the story, unless they make him super important.
I mean, I was a little excited for this run, and you have dashed that, John.
Sorry.
But I will say that, no, actually, I think it was rightfully dashed, because you're right, this is another main character from the original trilogy for them to kill. Because if you look at it, Lando's kind of all that's left. And
besides Chewie, who I don't think they'll get rid of, because they kind of don't want to get rid of every single character.
If Chewie dies, I will not see another main trilogy movie.
That's that money right there.
Chewie's where I cross the line.
Ben's dead. Luke's gone now. Leia's gonna go. Mm-hmm. Han's gone. I mean, the only ones they haven't killed off are the only robots are safe, man. And Han's really, and they killed off freaking Akbar too. He was a character similar to Lando in the fact that he's a character that had a decent sized role in the film, cool character, ties in with the original trilogy, and they just kind of poof and he's gone. Like he didn't get a meaningful death or anything. You know what I mean? So it's like there's not that, even supporting cast characters, there's not that many left to go around from the old school stuff.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Kyle, what are you doing?
I was sitting on my cord.
Oh, I thought you were dancing.
No. I mean, not
entirely.
Want to
dance while I talk about Lando? That's cool with me. You do you, bro.
Okay.
If you feel like dancing, you just go ahead and do whatever you want to do, Ozzy. It's all right.
All right, Ron. How do you feel about Lando coming back?
Well, I feel the same with John, and it also goes to a point I brought before about
why you don't like Star Wars.
It's not even because that's another story for another time. But it goes to the fact again why Disney has been having such a hard time with this Star Wars franchise. You've been bringing another character that fans love, and I just like John, I fully believe that he's just gonna die in the movie, and then what? You're going to have, again, uproar of fans who are going to go on their computer, go on Twitter.
Let's remake it.
Like, all they're going to do is no matter what the movie happened, no matter what, how could you do this? Oh, like, it's, again, I feel for them not knowing what to do with this. Like, it's just, we got to keep digging and digging back into the well and say, oh, they like this. Let's put it here.
And then let's
Come on, you remember.
That's a good illustration, dude. That's a great... it is literally like they're digging into a well, and there's not much left. You know what I mean?
It's going to get to the point when they look down, they're going to be like, oh, snap. We got nothing left.
Exactly.
Oh, it's okay.
Wells wow. Star Wars wells running dry. We're in trouble.
Oh, wow. You're right. Kyle, any final words on the subject?
I liked that well analogy, and I also think Lando's probably going to die. And it's just a main way of saying, hey, it's this character that's in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Come see our movie.
Oh my gosh. What if both Chewie and Lando die, and they die because the Millennium Falcon explodes?
Oh, jeez. Well, this is the last of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So, it seems like that's what they've been doing. If there's one thing we've all noticed, it's kind of like, remember the toys back from when in the 80s, and they just take one toy and remake it over and over again, like He-Man, Transform, they just repaint it, whatever, put a new head on it. So Star Wars has been doing this for a long time. It's kind of the same story over and over and over again. And this is what they've done for 2 movies now. Let's bring back a character you love, and now they're dead.
Well, we can't have a true ending unless all the characters die.
Exactly. As long as if you're gonna get rid of them, Star Wars, at least give it some meaning. Don't do it. No spoilers, but don't do it in certain other movies that I'm not allowed to talk about because somebody here hasn't seen it. Don't make it just like poof and gone. Oh, they died, and they died way up there in that thing where you couldn't even see it. Like Akbar. Yeah. Like I didn't even realize Akbar was dead until somebody said they killed off Akbar. I watched the movie 2 or 3 times, and I never even saw that.
I saw it first time.
Wow. They couldn't have showed him like half fried. You know, one side of his face looks like a piece of shrimp, and he's just like, "It's a trap," and he hits a button and he blows up the ship. I mean, I would have rather had him fly the friggin' ship in. At least give Akbar, you know, a decent going out, rather than this new purple-haired chick. Yeah, like who the heck is that girl anyway? Like she didn't even belong there. Let Akbar. Justice for Akbar.
I would have loved it if Akbar did it. I would have loved it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many small changes they could have made that would have made fans much happier. I mean, if you're going to kill him off, do it in a cool, good way. You know what I mean? That way they can do those montages of Remember Akbar.
All right.
Oh, well.
So let's get into the actual topics. Anybody who specifically wants to go first? Don't raise your hands all at once. Go ahead, Ron.
I got it. I got you. All right, y'all know this weekend, the one and only Dwayne Johnson popped in with another movie. I think it's something called A Little Skyscraper.
Yeah, it's called Skyheart.
That's what it is.
You're welcome.
Don't get me started with that. Because here's the thing, though. If y'all saw the trailer, y'all get the gist. You know what I mean? And to me, it is 100% so stupid. It looks like it could be one of those movies that's so bad that it's good. But here's my thing, though. Here's my question with this. When do we get to the point where a movie is from it's so bad it's good to being this is so bad, this is just terrible? So I feel that we might get there with The Rock. He's on a thin line. So tell me, y'all, when is that ship moving?
Wow, like not enjoying The Rock in a film. That can't be anytime soon.
Well, I mean, I thought Pain and Gain was one of his weakest films, to be honest.
I mean, I was being a little sarcastic, but he is a good actor, you know. Like,
no, I mean, he's good enough. I think he's just good enough to make a movie enjoyable. Like, the funny thing to me is like he's really good in Ballers, but in movies he's a little bit cheesier, or he's like. So I feel like the way he acts in films is a choice. It's not that he can't be a better actor. He chooses to be that old school 80s action star, you know, and it works for him. I'm cool with it.
I like Dwayne Johnson and the Scorpion King.
Yeah, I thought that one was great too. The only time I really thought it was not as good was the one where he worked for the FBI, Kevin Hart, freaking Central Intelligence.
The poster for that.
I thought the movie was pretty funny, but you could tell like comedy's not his best suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining.
My favorite part of that movie was the poster because it said, "Sometimes you need a little heart and a big Johnson," and that just made me laugh my ass off. But
that kind of reflects his entire movie career.
Ron, just to comment, I don't think Skyscraper is going to be a dumb movie. I think a movie where
it's getting great reviews. So
I think a movie where Dwayne Johnson has no legs, climbs a crane, jumps onto a falling skyscraper that is on fire with intentions of saving his family while it is burning down and falling around him, is completely educational, and we can learn from it. Maybe put it on National Geographic.
Yeah, we could do that.
Well, he said himself, like, this is his homage to Die Hard, this is his homage to all those types of movies.
And you can clearly
and it looks, I mean, he's had actual disabled veterans that, like, this really does, you know, kind of highlight that it makes people more aware of it, and it's just a good, straight up, good action. And like I said, most of his movies are just big, dumb fun. They don't have to be super smart, and I think that works. I mean, these are the kind of movies that are made for movie theaters. You don't pay extra money to go to a theater to see a smart film, because you're paying for all those extra speakers and those nice seats and the giant screen. And do you really need that for a movie that's just all story and no big explosions or fires or giant skyscrapers? You know what I mean?
It's the kind of movie that people are going to make fun of for being stupid, and then everyone else is just going to say, "Oh, it's a popcorn movie. Can't you just have fun with it?"
Yeah, like movies like Wicker Man and stuff like that. Like they are completely stupid, but they're great stupid. Like they're lovably stupid. And I've seen Wicker Man and The Room so many times, and I love those movies. I don't.
If they rebooted Birdemic with The Rock, I'd freaking watch it. I'm just saying.
Same.
It's just the exact same film, but you put the green screen The Rock in every scene. I'd still freaking watch that in the movie theater. I'd pay $10, $15 bucks.
You know what? I'd do it too. I'd do it too.
It's like, we got to find a way to get rid of all these birds. You just do the eyebrow.
Same shitty effects and everything.
He's like, all right, guys, let's fly. He'd have some cool one-liners.
I love it. I love it. Ron, Kyle, anything to add?
I got one last. I got one thing to do it. I thought, Kyle, go ahead.
I think a movie becomes so bad it's fun when it's like really over the top bad. Like I recently watched Mars Attacks, and I thought it was entertaining, especially the aliens, the way they just kind of go, knock, knock, and that's really all they say. And you have all these big actors in it like Jack Black, Martin Short, Michael J. Fox, and their biggest roles in the movie is just to die. It seems a lot like a troll movie, and it's really entertaining to watch.
Deep Blue Sea is one of those movies that's like really good because Samuel Jackson's like this huge actor, and he's like the guy that you know is going to save the day, and then that happens. You know what I mean?
By a shark.
Well, I wasn't going to say in case somebody had seen it, but yeah, I mean, very early on in the film, right in the middle of this heroic, we're gonna come together, and then and he's like, he left us. It's just like that scene in Jurassic Park with the little girl. He left us.
I love that.
That's not what I'm gonna do.
Just the last thing I gotta say about this topic is just that I'm a Rock fan. You know, I've been a fan of Dwayne since he's in WWE. Okay, long live the Rock. Okay, and I know the dude can act. My favorite movie from him is Gridiron Gang. I really loved him in that movie. Like, I thought he did a really great job, and I know the guy can really go. But for everything from that, you get Pain and Gain, Baywatch. And
hey, Baywatch! You know what? I will defend Baywatch, man. Baywatch is actually pretty funny, and you guys are not giving it credit enough because if you watch the old show,
Baywatch.
it is just as cheesy as the old show was, which is what makes it funny. It's the 21 Jump Street of like TV show movies.
And see, that's my thing, because like I thought that was going to be simple. Baywatch is what it is.
It makes fun of itself, which is why I liked it so much. It was stupid fun. I really enjoyed it, and he was fine in it.
I felt The Rock to me in that was way too much for me in that movie.
Oh, I thought it was just as good as Michael Hasselhoff jumping away slow motion from explosions. It was perfect. It was exactly like the show was. And they pointed it out multiple times. They did run a few jokes into the ground, but overall, I think that was. I don't think he's bad in that. I don't think that movie's that bad.
The Rock was.
Don't at me, bro.
No, I'm not coming at you. My point of the line was just that my fear is that soon, and I hope that this never happens, that The Rock will go from being a Rock movie's coming out, can't wait to see that and enjoy it, to go down and be like, oh, it's a Rock movie. Oh,
well, I think eventually he's going to be like, you know what? I've made tons of money. I've got my own line of this and that, and I've made all these action movies and this. And he's going to eventually get to the point where, you know what I want to go for next? An Oscar. And he's going to start taking acting classes, and he's going to go for a serious dramatic role just to see if he can do it, because he's conquered all these other, mediums. And eventually, I think he'll just improve from here. I don't think he's going to get worse.
I could see that.
I think
I could really see that.
Because I've seen him in Ballers. I know he can act when he wants to. I think, I think he chooses to do not as good acting in films. I think it's an actual acting choice.
I thought he was particularly goofy in Journey to Mysterious Island.
Yeah, but that was just the right amount of goofy. It was a kids movie, I give him a pass on kids movies because he is a kid's the kids freaking love him. I mean, he's done freaking Nickelodeon awards shows. I mean, kids love him, and they, a lot of them are wrestling fans from before he was an actor. So with kids movies, I think he should get an automatic pass because he's going to have to dumb it down. I mean, if you've never watched a kid movie before, you can tell all the actors dumb it down. They have to, because kids are going to get bored with this serious dramatic acting.
Don't worry, kids' movies will get their punishment during this podcast. But anything else to add, anybody?
That's it for me.
I'm done.
All right.
You smell what I'm cooking.
So let's move on to the next topic. Kyle, you had a really good one.
What do you think some of the biggest plot holes in movies are?
Oh man, I hate to do this to you, man, but Infinity War.
Whoa, there's one in Infinity War?
Wow.
I'm sorry. There's so many. There's so many, but they're the one biggest one for me. I'm sorry. And
Alert.
You're gonna have to, if you want to plug your ears and go la 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 la. I understand.
Quick disclaimer. If you haven't seen the movie yet, it's your own fault, Kyle.
It's been out for months now. It's your fault that you haven't seen it yet. But the end of the film,
let it go.
Stephen Strange is like in his little zone deal. Like I said, we already gave a spoiler alert. Stephen Strange is like going through every single outcome, and he goes through 14 million of them, and they only win in one scenario, so they have a 1 in 14 million chance of winning. And yet, nobody thought of pulling Thanos' arm through a freaking portal and cutting his arm off. I mean, they did that earlier in the film. They showed that was a possibility, which I was like, oh, they're gonna just pull that again because dude pulls his arm through the portal and arm comes off. He gets a new robot arm. You pull off the arm. I mean, why are they spending all this time trying to pull the glove off when they could have just portal slashed his freaking arm off? Out of 14 million combinations, he didn't see that. Not one time.
I will say this.
To me, that's a huge plot hole, and that would have changed the entire outcome of the film. So for me, you're talking about Marvel, who's started off like, we're trying to keep this grounded. It's just somewhat grounded in reality. But it's like, my kids went to the movies with me and saw Avengers: Infinity War, and they're the ones I already thought of it. My kids were like, "Why didn't they just pull his arm through a portal and just turn the portal off? Glove's gone. The end." They would have never had to worry about him coming to Earth. Nothing else would have happened. Sorry. All right, somebody must be rolling out bubble wrap.
Yeah, something's going on. It's like
Is this your way of not wanting to spoil?
I hated to have not listened to an argument being made in my own topic.
I'm so sorry, man, but that one is like, it's fresh in my mind, and it's recent, and it's like, that one to me is just like, sorry, there was a whole bunch of other ways you could have written this, and it seemed like lazy ways, like, oh, let's just pull the glove off.
Everything was all poppy, Ron. It's still a little poppy. But I do have something to go with that, John, and this is the only defense I will give for it. Maybe, and this is a very loose defense, maybe that was one of the outcomes and it didn't work somehow. I don't know how it wouldn't have worked, but maybe it didn't work.
Sorry, if he could have foreseen them getting him, I mean, all they had to do was keep him sedated, and then Spider-Man freaking, webs his arm, pulls it through the portal, turn portal off, end of movie. I'm sorry, that's just one way. I mean, you've all probably seen how it should have been. There's like a bunch of ways that they could have fixed that. It just seems like it was not a great option. The one that they decided to go with just did not seem like a good option. I understand that it's for the purpose of the overall story, but it just seems like, yeah, but you didn't even try it. Like, if they had tried some other ways that even an average moviegoer would have been like, well, why didn't they do this? If they'd actually physically tried to do that in the film, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, they did try that. It didn't work out. He fought him off, whatever. He was too strong. He turned the portal into bubbles, something.
I mean, I agree.
I mean, he spent freaking, 5 minutes trying to pull the glove off? Nobody thought about WD-40 or...
Nobody chose to take care of...
Vaseline.
There are some plot
Did something just happen to our...
Or freaking it's okay, Ron will be back in just a second.
Put a portal around his neck and go full Man of Steel mode. Just whoosh, crack that neck off, man. No more Thanos.
Jeez, John.
Hey, why DC does it all the time, and you guys are like, man, John, oh my God, that's dark.
Well, I do got one, and I'll bring it up just because it bugs me. There's this plot hole in the newest Power Rangers movie that really, really just upsets me. So it's established early on that Rita fought Zordon, and she betrayed the other Rangers. She was the original Green Ranger, and she ended up betraying the other Rangers. So it's also established in the film that the reason the Power Rangers can't morph is because because they can't work together. Like, they can't summon the powers because they can't work together, and because of that, we can't see the suits. And I think that's total bullshit, because how in God's name does Rita use her powers if you have to team up in order to use the suits? She shouldn't have been
I feel like that's a pretty easy one to explain. That's not that hard.
She wouldn't have been able to betray the Rangers then, because isn't it like...
I don't think that she started off evil. I think that she had a change of heart.
Oh no,
she had a Thanos complex kind of kicked in. Like, why aren't we just making things the way? People keep messing up and doing things wrong when we haven't seen the backstory for that. So it's not exactly a big plot hole. I don't think.
I just don't think if the suits work like that, she should have access to stuff like that, right? Like, she shouldn't have access to the powers anymore.
She could have been a great team player. We don't know.
All right, maybe.
Maybe she just up-enchanted. Wow, we've gone from bubbles to electricity.
Straight up stab. Technical difficulties. You're okay, Ron. We love you.
Hollywood.
Thanks, I'm sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Kyle, you got one?
My plot hole is actually in a movie I still, for the most part, enjoy, although not as much as I used to. It's The Matrix. And I still think the effects pretty well hold up, but I've realized the story is not as well thought out as I thought it would have been. It's trying to be smarter than it really is. And I think the biggest plot hole of the movie is the fact that the Matrix exists. Like, it's kind of pointless. The machines have taken over the world and have them. They're using them for batteries, and this whole time they put a lot of thought into building a program that simulates a world when they could really just kind of keep them there, let them lobotomize them.
Dreamless sleep, just keep them alive.
Yeah, basically, or even just
let them. Now the problem with that is that without that, you have no movie.
Yeah. But
I agree, but
it's a pretty big plot hole.
That would make the movie like really short. Be like, oh hey, all the humans are captured in these pods. The end.
The writers,
I mean, we don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they tried that, and maybe this human mind fought it, and they kept trying to escape, and they had to figure out a way to keep them submersive and under control, and that's why they created the Matrix in the first place.
There's multiple plot holes in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, how did Neo's powers work when he was out in the real world? No, that's never explained.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of plot holes. Yeah, especially after the first movie, there's just more. The plot holes just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I like the first movie, and then after the second one, like the third movie just kind of gave up.
Yeah, I was actually so I introduced my kids to Matrix recently, and like the first movie freaking blew their minds, and then we watched the second one, and the longer we watched the second one, I'm like, oh man, I remember when it first came out, I was still pretty psyched because I loved the first movie so much, but I remember being less disappointed by the fact that they changed everything with computer animation. Like all the cool 360 shots, they redid every single shot from the first movie. It was just like it kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I still didn't think the second one was all that bad, but it was the third one that I really didn't like.
I like the second one a lot less than when I saw it when it first came out. But it feels like they actually created plot holes just so they could continue making the movie, because that's all 2 and 3 are holes. It's like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, I don't think it was a planned trilogy.
No, it was. Well, I mean, no, the Wachowski brothers said they had an idea for a trilogy all along. But I feel like once the Warner Brothers got in there, because this is what happens in films. Once producers get involved, since it's their money, they make the decisions. They're like, no, we need to add a dog, and it needs to be yellow, and there should be a kid. I mean, the Monster Trucks was made because a producer's grandson was like, can you make a monster truck movie with monsters actually inside the trucks called Monster Trucks? Freaking 4-year-old came up with Monster Trucks, people. This is how Hollywood works. Like, the people with the money make the decisions, which can ruin movies. Right? I mean, it's not the writer's fault. It's not the director's. Well, sometimes it is, but it's not always the writer's fault. It's not always the director's fault. Sometimes it's just the people in charge that have the money. Money pays for what we end up seeing, and they make a lot of changes to what would have been a freaking fantastic movie. I mean, I've seen original scripts from like the Transformers movies or from DC's movies that were like so much better than what we got because the bigwigs got involved. Like, no, the people would love it if you just did that. And they're surrounded by yes men. Like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Yes, sir.
You should forward me some of those PC scripts.
It's like everybody around Logan Paul tells him that, oh yeah, it'd be great to go take selfies with dead bodies that committed suicide. Because they're just like, say yes to whatever he does, and even if it's a terrible idea. So
I never would have guessed that the Matrix trilogy was actually a planned trilogy because of all the plot holes. I always thought all along that
I would love
the first movie was such a big success. We got to make a sequel now. And
no, they originally approached Warner Brothers. If you go back and watch all of the commentary and stuff on the original Blu-ray DVD, they actually said they came to Warner Brothers with an idea for a trilogy. They're like, well, let's just try one movie first. But yeah, I have a feeling like I would love to see what the Wachowski brothers trilogy was originally. You know what I mean? Because it feels like Warner Brothers just, once they realized they had a hit on their hands, they kind of took it out of their hands and said, we're going to make this, and let's add in vampires and zombies. And, it's like, it didn't make any sense anymore. So I feel like a lot of that had to have been like on the production side, like not on the writer-director side.
That makes sense.
I agree.
At least I hope so. Because if that was their original trilogy, man, they should have just left it at one and forgot the rest of it.
Ron?
All right. My turn? Y'all want my turn?
Yeah, buddy.
We want
All
your
right,
turn.
here comes y'all.
Give it to us.
All right, here we go. Gloves are off.
Sandwiches.
All right.
Sandwiches. Just random sandwiches.
I'm going to talk about that Man of Steel. Okay, I got a bone to pick with that. All right, let me tell y'all something. And I love Superman, but this one hurt me. Okay, y'all know the scene where him and his family are stuck on the road and a tornado's coming. They're trying to get everyone off the road. And down the road, you see not only the dog getting stuck, the father comes, saves it, but he gets stuck. Clark wants to go save him, but Dad's like, no. I guess.
No.
I want to die.
And that whole thing, I'm like, he could have saved him.
Yeah, he could. He could have freaking saved him.
Like, I don't want people to know your powers. They still would not have known.
Nope. All he had to do was freaking hunker down somewhere and use his strength to like hold on to the ground or something. Everybody would be like, "Oh, praise the Lord, it's a miracle." I mean, they're in the freaking South. It would have been on Facebook as like, check out this miracle. This man saves a guy. And nobody would have known. It's like, I mean, okay, how many times have we seen Superman like, oh, there's a thing, and he just kind of ducks away, and then nobody even notices he disappears. And then the next thing, Superman just shows up, and he saves him, and then he goes like, what'd I miss, guys? I mean, there were so many ways. Yeah, I absolutely freaking agree.
Yes. I understand. Yes, go ahead.
I got an idea for the scene. I think this would have made it better. What if instead of like when Papa Kent was like, no, let me die, you need to stay hidden, this is when we see Superman go, no, I need to save humanity. And he doesn't listen, and he saves his dad anyways. I feel like that would be so good, because even though he just outed himself, he did it for truth, justice, and the American way.
Right. He did it because
that'd be a big character building moment.
Yeah.
I mean, and when did they ever kill off Clark's parent? At any time. Nothing else. We've always seen both of them together. It just didn't make any sense to me either, dude. Yeah. Why did you say that name? I've been waiting for somebody to say Martha this whole time. Yeah, no, I freaking agree, man. There was just so many ways that should have gone, and it didn't make any sense because, I mean, you change it to my two dead dads. It's like...
But, John...
Now I have no father.
What
Don't
about
save
Boomer?
Me. Okay.
John, what about Boomer?
It's not a boomer.
What about Boomer?
It's not a boomer.
Go check out the Nostalgia Critic, guys.
Thank you. I'm glad y'all agree with me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely agree with you. It's always bugged me.
All right. John, do you have a topic?
You did mine. Oh, a topic. Oh, yes, I actually do have a topic. All right. What one movie could have possibly been a success had they not had cast all celebrities, and then the celebrities all tried to hog the spotlight and tried to be like decent. You know what I mean? Like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 8 is a good example in my opinion of like movie 43 would be my choice. Movie 43 was a complete crap fest because they had a billion famous people in there and they're all fighting to be the funniest person. I mean, how many times has the movie been ruined because they had too many cooks in the kitchen and everybody wanted to be the star, but they were all stars? You know what I mean? Knock yourselves out. Lots of choices.
There are times that it really works, though, because if you look at Clue...
There are times. I'm talking about which movies might have actually been good had they not had a whole bunch of celebrities that could not share the screen with anybody else.
I need to think about that. Anyone else want to go?
I couldn't make it easy on you.
No, you're good enough. I mean, you could have. You just chose not to. Because you're evil, John Bailey.
I know. I'm bad.
I think I may have gotten it.
Go ahead,
I may have gotten it.
All right, man.
My guys need more time to think.
What is it? Oh yeah. Okay. Y'all remember the movie Rio, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Rio. I liked the first one. I thought it was very, very, very enjoyable for what it was. Rio 2, because the one thing that they promoted the most was like, in Rio 2 we have this celebrity. They had 10 times more singers in this movie, and half of them were just either trying to put up like, oh, remember this song? Oh yeah, that person sings. Without acting.
Yep.
Like, all I heard was the actor's voice. And that was my problem. Like,
do you remember the good old days when they actually got actors to do the characters and they saved the famous singers for the credits back in the day? You know? Because DreamWorks does this a lot, dude. Look at the last Ice Age movie. They literally put the celebrities on the screen with their name, and my kids are going, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? They didn't know who anybody was.
In one of those movies
some more famous people you get in there, especially when they're not even like that's a great point, especially when they're not even actors. Like you could have made a good story and got some good performances and made a great film, but no, we'll make more money if we bring in Nicki Minaj and freaking Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's pretty good. I'll give him that. But yeah, most of the time it doesn't work.
Yes, I agree with that.
I do have one for this, and I feel like a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but if you think about it, I think it qualifies. There's this,
Go ahead.
Maybe I'm about to pull Spider-Man here, but there's this older movie called Rat Race.
Yes, that really good movie. Oh, come on, not Rat Race. I actually like Rat Race.
I like Rat Race too, but here's the thing. If you watch, like, every scene the celebrities are together in, they are totally competing with each other.
Yeah.
And also, like, a lot of times it sort of ruins the jokes because when you cut from one celebrity to the other, like, there's just, like, this try-hard situation with all of them. I love Rat Race, too. I think it's a very
you mention it, like, the only funny parts of Rat Race that I remember are the individual scenes, not the group scenes. You're absolutely right.
Like,
wow. Man, you just blew my mind.
It was an honor.
I just never realized, like, all the funniest scenes are just like Seth Green and his brother. Those scenes are freaking great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like the scene with Hitler's car, it's fine, but when you put everybody together, they're not funny at all.
The Mr. Bean
I still think movie 43 is the absolute. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that movie. I don't know if that movie could have been better if they hadn't have. I think it's just an awful movie. But it's definitely one of those things where when you put a bunch of famous people in one movie, but I would say that any one of the movies like Mother's Day, New Year's Day, all those movies, they just suck balls. It's like, let's get a bunch of famous people with a bunch of different storylines and then show how they're all connected. And it just does not work for me.
And it seems like they're doing that again with the dog movie. Sorry, Ron, we were talking over each other. What did you say? I'm sorry.
My bad. Sorry.
It's my
John got me heated. John got me heated because I 100% agree with him with like the Valentine's Day movies, New Year's movie, Mother's. Oh, like
remember Taylor Swift and dude from Twilight?
I remember.
Let's throw Taylor Swift in a movie. She can act.
Oh, Smurfs did it too. Kyle, you got one?
Please, Kyle, eat it.
I don't know if this entirely counts as a movie that I think could really have been like better, because I still do like the movie, but sometimes it does seem like the actors are competing just because there's so many famous people in it. But it's the action movie Expendables, where they have so many.
You're absolutely
action.
That movie.
They have so many action stars in it.
Yeah, that franchise.
Just like,
yeah, no, you're wrong. You're right, and you're wrong. No, it would have been a better movie if they had not have gotten all stars, because that's basically it. It was just called Old Action Stars Movie. If you'd actually made a real Expendables movie with an actually good cast that could work together well, that movie would have been fantastic. Throw one or two stars, but then some just really good actors that are also good action dudes. That would have changed the film altogether, because that second one just got awful.
Yeah, the second one did. I liked the first one. I liked the first one.
But yeah, you're right. I don't think those guys, because Jean-Claude Van Damme and like all these other guys, they don't like sharing the screen with anybody.
Yeah, they bring in so many famous action stars that they're just kind of like, I'm more badass. No, I'm more badass.
I think Fast and the Furious would have been a benefit without having too many famous people in it, because they keep doing this. It's like the super movies where they keep adding more and more famous villains, and they have to work like 3+ more. Transformers is another one, because there's a lot of famous people in the first Transformers movie. It was just overkill. They did not need 5 or 6 comic reliefs. They just needed one or two main famous people, and then just some good performers. That's all you need, folks. It would make the movies much better.
You gotta bring in the seats. You gotta bring in the people.
I know they think that's what it is, because they know the more famous people they get, the more talk show circuits and press things that they can do talking about the movie. Yes. I mean, I understand the business aspect, but I also think you could have made a much better film had you just changed your mind and not had 15 celebrities and only had 2 or 3 instead.
Good pick, Kyle.
Like, in the Expendables, they kind of even make a joke about how they're going back and forth, like, who is the better action star? Mm-hmm. When I forget who it was that was with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he says his famous line, "I'll be back," and he says, "You've been back enough," and he goes and does it himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's not even a fun good either. It's just a bad good. It's just a bad. It's
I didn't think the first one was bad, but after that, I thought they were.
Well, I mean, I think I like the concept of an all, former action. What might have been a funnier concept to do that with would have been like they're all former action stars and they're all looking for work. So they're all like trying to out audition. Like Killing Gunther. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's funny. Yeah, I like the idea of competing action stars that are all looking for work still. Then they actually are, heroes or mercenaries or whatever. I think the story of Expendables itself would have benefited with an actually good cast as opposed to an all-star cast.
A scene that I did think was cool.
If we were debating this, I would concede it to you, sir.
John, I do
a scene that I did think was
visual scenes. Like, there's not a ton of group stuff, but it's awful. But no, I think Expendables would have been a way better movie.
Rule 43 sucks. I hate that movie. Movie 43.
Not Rule 43.
I screwed up. No, it's just terrible. Like, the writing's bad, the directing's bad, the cinematography is kind of bad, the acting is bad. It's
like a bunch of people that somebody blackmailed into doing a movie or had they lost a bet on poker night or something. I don't know.
Kyle, you know how we sometimes hang out and watch terrible movies and make fun of them? We'll do that with Movie 43.
Okay. You would have to pay me to watch Rule 43. Sorry, you'd have to pay me.
I got $1, John. Come watch with us.
Like the reason that I said Expendables would have been better, but it might not also have been, was because I think all the action stars was kind of their whole marketing thing. It's like we have Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's absolutely.
So it's why people watched it.
It would have been entirely, even if you just swapped out somebody for Dwayne Johnson, that movie would have been better. I mean, Dolph Lundgren, does anybody really think of him as an action star, really? Like, I can't name a single individual action movie starring Dolph Lundgren. I can't. And I'm not counting He-Man ever. I consider that a horror film, not an action movie, because it's terrifying. It's horrifying.
You're wrong.
All right, you are so right. All right. I think it's the last topic, but this might be we've gotten a little heated.
I got 3
specifically
topics
Ron.
that you wrote down that I have not seen yet. Like 3.
A few people said were unable to get in, which I'll briefly mention them.
You had some good answers. Dang.
Yeah, I had some good answers too. I can't wait to do Mal's. But I will bring up mine. What is a very annoying character from a kids movie or TV show or cartoon for that matter, and how would you punish them for being annoying?
Shotgun.
All right, go ahead, John.
Bartok the Bat from Anastasia.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Dude,
I didn't even
seriously? I mean, he's such a freaking, holy crap. He's a freaking amazing actor. Hank Azaria can act on camera. He's in great shape. He's still in great shape. He can perform accents. He can do original characters. He can do some impressions. He can do a ton of stuff, but that character is just like, I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, if maybe he lost a bet, or maybe his nephew was like, can you please do this cartoon character? It's because I'm okay. There's a lot of movies, and you probably know a few of them, like Despicable Me, where they hire a famous person to do a character, but they don't do their own voice. They do some weird cartoon choice. They're like, I think I'm going to talk like this the entire time. I'm like, no, just be you. You're funnier as you. But they decide, I'm going to be a cartoon character instead. And this is one of those films where he's like, I think I'm going to be a cartoon character with a really weird accent and then just really annoying and everything I do is horrible. It's just, he grates my nerves. It's like ears on a freaking chalkboard. And I think that he should have to go into an actual cave and live off guano for a while. I think that would be a great punishment.
You're punishing the voice actor?
You're better than this, Hank Azaria. You're better than... He said we had to give them an appropriate punishment for how bad they were.
How would you punish them?
I think that's appropriate. And I already said that's how... I think he should have to go into an actual cave and live off guano for like a week. I think that's perfectly legitimate punishment.
Guano?
I like Hank Azaria, though. He's not good in that movie, though.
Oh, he's freaking phenomenal. I love him, but Bartok's an awful character.
But he must eat batshit.
Iago at least was entertaining. Bartok is just friggin' annoying.
Oh, I completely agree.
Have you seen Bartok's movie? Because it's so much worse.
Oh my gosh. All right, Ron. I remember you told me that you had something to get off your chest with this one. So I am expecting greatness.
No pressure.
All right, hold on. Okay, all right. Put some water in my mouth. All right, here it comes. All right. Ain't no games here. So I'm going to be real. Y'all know that show SpongeBob, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, look. There's this one character on that one show that has to be taught a lesson, okay? And don't you dare give me that, oh, he's lovable. Oh, he's just, we love him because he's supposed to be like that. No, let's be real. Patrick Star needs to be taught. Okay? First off, he is the worst best friend I have ever seen. Okay? Dude, your friend loses employee of the month, okay? And you come in with a cake and you see that he lost, you're like, oh man, that stinks. Can you help me erase this cake? And write Squidward's name on it, and have SpongeBob write Squidward's name on it. You have ignored him when he's in pain. You have beat him up when he was minding his own business. You literally stole from him. You two bag. You had the goal to share something with him, and then get mad with him when it's his turn. Patrick, man. You are something else, but you know what? That's why you got to be taught a lesson, okay?
How would you punish him, Ron?
This is what I got to do, okay? Please forgive me, but it's got to be taught, okay? I will grab him, okay? You know how to do that big hand? That be my hand. I grab him, bring him to the surface. Bring him to the surface, all right? I bring him to the surface, and the hottest day of the year, I will bring him up there, and he's like, I'll be like, look, are you going to be a better friend? Are you going to treat SpongeBob better? Promise me you're going to be a better friend, and you come back down. If you don't, guess what, Patrick? We gonna get you. We gonna find SpongeBob a new friend. Hey,
You gotta
Squidward, what you doing?
change,
Guess what?
See, that's the problem with that, though, is that Patrick would be like, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" Because he's just
Then he
he's a
died.
freaking See, here's my argument: is that he's a freaking idiot. He doesn't know any better. Yeah, he's a terrible friend because he has no idea how to be a good one. He's a complete moron.
And that's my problem. I'm like, dude, I would have cut you off quick. I would have been done with this. I'm like, you would put me through too much pain in my life.
SpongeBob and
You know what?
They both torture each other. I mean, geez, you know how hard it's got to be SpongeBob's friend? Listen to all day long every day. I'm just saying.
Point made.
That's what I've done to Patrick. I'm good.
Well, I think
You
SpongeBob's
okay?
more annoying, but he's not a side character.
Ron, are you okay?
Do you need an intervention, bro?
I'm good.
Do you need
Got
a
all
time?
the death.
You need a timeout.
Kyle, go.
Hugs.
Kyle, go ahead. Don't hug Ron right now. He's not in a good place.
He's hot, bro. That Ron's so hot right now.
Agreed. Kyle, Kyle, go ahead. Who's a character that annoys the hell out of you?
Well,
No,
you mentioned
side character. It has to be a side character.
Oh yeah,
side character. Yeah.
can't be the main character.
Well, you mentioned that it had to be like a cartoon or a kid's show, and seeing how I've not seen very many of that, I'll just go with one I know. I think the Minions from Despicable Me are extremely overrated.
Yes.
That's a kid's movie.
Yes, good choice, dude. Oh man, I changed my. I concede.
Kyle,
Not worthy.
I remember you were saying, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of kids' films. I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, just pull something out, and you.
That's
you
a
may have
freaking
just
great
won.
choice, dude.
Mhm.
The Minions are so overrated and stupid and ridiculous.
Everyone loves them, and I'm just like, why?
No. Kids and tweens, and like, because they're cute and they're just freaking annoying, and they're stupid banana. They're made up language. It just sounds like they're making fun of other real languages.
Right?
I 120% agree with you.
If I had to punish them, I'd say that I would replace them. I would replace a bunch of Twinkies with their bodies, and people would open the package thinking they were Twinkies and eat them.
I was going to say put them in a pit and dangle a banana above them where they can't reach it.
That's not
my
enough.
goodness.
That's not enough.
They're just a bunch of talking
You know.
Twinkies.
They've put us through more pain than that. We can't just have the banana.
They got their own stinking movie somehow.
And they're getting a sequel.
Oh,
They got their own movie.
yeah, no, they were already in all the Despicable Me movies, and then they got their own spin-off movie, and now they're getting their own spin-off sequel. Jeez Louise.
I know. Good pick, Kyle.
That's a fantastic pick, dude.
Ron, I gotta get something off my chest too with this topic.
Let it be known.
So there's
Go
a
ahead.
character. He technically isn't a side character, but I'm gonna do him anyways, just because I want to talk about his hate. Please, my hate.
It's my anus.
Allow me. Okay, so the character is. He started in YouTube, but then he had his own show and a kids movie. It is Fred.
Oh yeah.
And
With annoying main characters, that kind of opens up to a lot of shows.
I don't think I have to explain why Fred is annoying. But
Nope.
I will just briefly. He's so stupid. He
He's real life SpongeBob.
he's afraid of being bullied. So he like imagines in his head this situation where he's like in his own little war and he puts on a raincoat to defend himself and then squirts himself with ketchup. Don't get me started on the voice. He's just
Jeez.
The
Oh
worst
no,
person.
the voice is freaking awful.
And also, the character just views himself as a victim the entire time. Like, everything that happens, he's just the victim of it. And I absolutely hate it. I know it's a kid's film, but it's just, I hate the character
So,
in those
yeah, friggin'
movies
hate
and
it.
shows. So how would I punish
Ed.
him?
Oh, I have a great idea for that.
I
That's
don't-
very on point and ironic. Unless you have something else.
I got one. And then I'd love to hear yours afterwards, John. But I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know
Or
who
Fred,
has seen
go.
Game
Go
of
ahead.
Thrones.
Oh yeah.
But I'd pull a Bolton on his ass, and I would essentially skin him completely. Put him on those X's. I'd also cut his tongue off because I wouldn't want to hear him scream.
Wow, jeez.
I would put him on the. I don't like Fred. Lucas Crowshank, you're a very.
I thought you were going to say you were going to lock him in a room with Jeffrey and the two could annoy each other to death.
But no, I would just stretch out his limbs to where they don't work.
Literally physically torture a human being. Okay.
I'd probably cut his penis off. And then I'd just let him go.
Wow.
Dude, I said I'm
really
going Game
freaking
of
hate this guy.
I'm going Game of Thrones with it. So yes.
I was going to say something a little more appropriate, like John Cena from one of his films just freaking puny gods him.
Wait a minute. You were saying that a voice actor has to eat bat shit for like a solid week.
Yeah, but bat poop is not near as bad as freaking torturing somebody on a rack, like cutting their penis and tongue off. My gosh,
John.
I felt so sorry for him after they did that to him on that show.
Don't feel
I mean,
sorry.
I know he was a bad guy, but did he really deserve all of that?
You know who deserves it more than Theon, though, John?
Fred. Apparently so.
All right.
No, I'd still say Jeffrey still deserves it more than Fred does.
All right.
Fred got out or Jeffrey got off easy.
So we are towards the end now, but we do have an improv topic from our director, the beautiful Chris Bales. Thank you. What Saturday morning cartoon would you want to see made into a live-action CGI movie or /CG movie? Pick one that doesn't already have one.
That's too many answers. Somebody else go.
Boy.
You got one, Ron?
I'm picking at the bones right here. Oh, okay. I do got one. All right.
Okay, Ron. Go ahead.
Y'all cannot tell me. It's CGI, right? So you cannot
CG
tell me.
or live action. It's your call.
Oh, even better. Y'all can't tell me y'all wouldn't love to see a live action Digimon movie.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we're already getting Detective Pikachu, so kind of, sort of.
See, with mine, it'd be totally different, because these kids, they're just going to summer school. I'm saying to summer school. All going to summer school. They all come from different side of the track. Get sucked into a world, these mystic beasts. But the thing is that these beasts, these beasts resemble who they are on the inside. You see they act all tough, they're all bad. No, you're not. You're just afraid. No. You just need a friend. No. You just want someone to love you. And that's what these characters do. Are you telling me you wouldn't love to see Ty with a giant Greymon just doing his thing like Godzilla? Oh my goodness gracious. You see Garurumon like the wolf in Rampage just doing his thing. Just go up there. Oh my goodness gracious. Y'all ain't gonna get me started. I'll tell you this. This right here. Put it on the summer blockbuster. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all already know I'm gonna love it.
I'd see
Digimon live action movie. Bam.
They gotta put the theme song in it though, or I'm not seeing it.
I'll get celebrities to sing the intro. Don't worry.
My choice. I feel like this is a bit of an obvious choice, but I'd love to see it. I think Gargoyles would be really cool if done.
Well, there's one of my answers.
I mean,
technically that's a weekday afternoon show, but I was totally going to mention that one. Yeah. After I saw Frankenstein, I was like, this just makes me want to see a real live Gargoyles movie.
If you really look at it,
freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Great.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, there's also a chance it could be done terribly, but I think if we get,
if they did a good one, it would be awesome, dude. I've been saying that for years.
Just bring the guys who worked on the show. Like, obviously, it's a different format, but I am completely convinced that it could be great, and I would absolutely love to see it. Like, just imagine seeing Goliath and characters like that live action brought to life. I'd love to see Broadway brought to life. I just feel like it would be a great show to just enjoy, and this would be the show was great, and I loved it, and I feel like this could be a celebration of it. and something.
And if you
even
did it right, it would be frigging fantastic.
It would
be
I
so, because it was a
completely
great cartoon.
agree.
If they did it right, it'd be a great movie.
Completely 100% agree.
All right, go ahead, because I have two choices. I'm just making sure nobody else grabs my other choice. I had three, and now I'm down to two because you got one of them, so I'm cool with that.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pinky and the Brain.
Like, that's not a Saturday morning cartoon, though.
I don't know.
We're gonna
I
have
don't-
to be loose with it, dude.
Well,
For the
they've
record,
actually
I
talked about.
watched,
They've actually talked about making a Pinky and the Brain cartoon, but they're talking about recasting Pinky and the Brain with like celebrity voices, which like, no, what are you doing?
If it's
Those
not
guys
Paulson,
made
I'm
those
not
characters.
seeing it. If it's not Paulson, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's not. If it's not Marisa Marsh, I'm not seeing it. I mean, I love Rob, but Marisa Marsh, that character is just. I love the Brain so stinging much.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I absolutely.
I used to have
love
the username Das Brain from Das Brain the episode.
I hate to not have a topic, but it's like I don't watch many cartoons, so I really don't know.
I
And I
totally
thought Pinky and the Brain was funny.
It is funny. Well, you didn't get mine.
Okay.
All right, John. I feel like I'm most excited to hear your answer. Please.
All right, so I have two that were not picked. I was also going to say gargoyles because I've been thinking that for a long freaking time. You have to understand these are not necessarily. One of them is a Saturday morning cartoon. One of them is not, but it is still a cartoon that I think would make a really good, fun like live action movie. Street Sharks is my non-Saturday morning. That, if done right, that would be freaking hilarious because you could get like freaking Dwayne Johnson to voice like one of the sharks. I mean, there's a lot of great big actors that could do the voice of a big muscly shark.
Oh
It would be freaking fantastic. I mean, if you made it like super cheesy and bad, just like the show was, I think it'd be perfect. My other choice would have to be Silverhawks because I just think that the whole coolness level and the look of it, the freaking theme song, that would be a really freaking cool movie. That's my pick. I'm sticking with it.
I'm mad.
That's a good one, man.
I'm upset. Dang it.
Like,
Tunes are my jam, man. I know my tunes. I was gonna bring up a few honorable mentions. That would be Voltron, but because we've got the Netflix show that's freaking great, like that's good for a while. But I did see some concept of a live action film, but it felt so much like what Power Rangers did.
yeah.
I kind of feel like it would have been almost exactly the same, which is maybe the reason why they didn't go ahead with it.
Yeah. I think Voltron could work. I think it would be difficult.
It would
though.
too, but I think a lot of people are like it's just like Power Rangers.
Oh, get the Twitter fingers going. Oh,
I would like to see a Pinky and the Brain movie. I don't know if I would want it to be live action or CG though. I think I would want it to
Well, I
be...
think that it would probably be like the Smurfs. It would be like computer animated mouse and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
mice and
It would be that. That's kind of what I had in mind. Like it's kind of live action where it looks still animated, kind of.
But I think that would worry me because we all saw what they did with Smurfs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be afraid that
The style could work, but not a
the
good
style
movie.
would work. But, they would get freaking, especially if they recast the main two characters with celebrity. Because they were talking about, remember the dude? I can't even remember his name. I'm going to Google it real quick. So remember the actor from Something About Mary?
Uh-huh.
No.
I think I knew what you're talking about.
I'm
See,
looking it up
John,
real
I
quick.
told
Give-
you. I've seen things. I'm acceptable.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'll get it here. Chris Elliott. They were talking about having Chris Elliott voice Pinky.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, and I don't remember who they said that they were talking about for the Brain, but like Chris Elliott, no.
If it's
For
not the
Pinky?
original voice actors, it's not
Like
going to work.
I don't know anybody that could do it as good. I mean, I can't think of any celebrity that I would have to have the original voices. And
Yeah, the original
feel like
voices were
it'd be-
perfect.
I feel like they would have this. He would have this plan to break out and take over the world, and then he would have a heart towards the end of it because he starts caring about the human people that find him and start taking. It would end up being just a really slappy, stupid movie, and that's why I don't think it would work very well.
Dwayne
Yeah,
the
probably not. I
Rock.
just had to come up with some
I'd love to
ideas.
see a good one, but that's what I'm afraid that they would do to it.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson as a giant shark would be absolutely perfect. John.
Right?
That would be cool.
Better have the theme song, man. I want that theme song in it too.
You get Dwayne Johnson and you get Drax. You know?
Oh, dude.
And these
Oh,
guys
God.
are
Batista
great,
would
you know?
be great
I
in
think
this.
Batista would be fantastic. John Cena could be one of them. WWE can make the movie. Like make the film.
Hey, Studios, Vince, are you listening? Are you listening to this? Roman Reigns. Oh gosh. Yeah,
Somebody's
I'm down
gotta-
with this.
Terry Crews could be your fourth. There
Dude.
you go. We just
There we
cast the
go.
movie.
There we go. That's perfect.
Because he's,
Oh,
I mean, out of all four of those guys, he's like legitimate funny without even trying.
Yeah.
I agree
Always
so
my
much.
favorite Wednesday.
I win. No.
I mean, I think
Do your
Gargoyle
victory
is
dance.
Dance, John.
I'll never ever get this.
Victory dance.
I had thought for a long time, like, I think Brave Star would be kind of cool, but it'd be so hard to do that without it being racist. I just feel like that would just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Touch button.
I'm so worried that like Will Ferrell's gonna get a hold of the rights to some Saturday morning cartoon and did what he did to Land of the Lost. And like I like that movie, but for a general audience, I just don't think that always like it works best with like Starsky and Hutch did a good job of kind of like doing a funny movie based on an old TV show, but it was still entertaining and funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because it doesn't always work. 21 Jump Street, it worked. 22 Jump Street didn't work quite as well. Baywatch, I liked it, but most people did not. Land of the Lost, I thought it was funny. Most people didn't. So, yeah.
For me, I had the
We-
same thing. I had the same thing with Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Like, a lot of people said, that's terrible, and I'm like, I love it.
I thought it was better than the first one, man. At least they put some
by
of the
far.
characters from Ninja Turtles in it.
Yeah, no, I
You're on an island on your own.
Well, I think we have discovered that out of all of us, John Bailey should make a Saturday morning cartoon movie.
On street,
Make a
it
Pinky
should
and the
be
Brain
released
movie.
on Shark Week. Like,
Oh, what are you doing?
it
When
should
you
be
win the
like
full-
we get Asylum to like to like fund the thing because they did so great with Sharknado. We get a street Sharknado. There you go. There's your movie.
my
Starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Batista, Terry Crews, and John Cena.
We're done.
Hollywood, pick up the slack. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you everybody who watched the show. Ron, you said you had a few shout outs you wanted to do towards the end.
Yes, I got one. Yo, special shout out to Rebel_Matt92. Bro, I saw your reaction. Thank you for being a fan. And we love you too, brother. Keep doing you. And the other one, Trigger Digger 17. Brother, much love to you.
Trigger Digger.
Keep watching. We hope that we're making you laugh through all this and having a good time. Thank you, man.
Welcome to Walmart, yo.
That is the greatest catchphrase I've ever heard. Just randomly, welcome to Walmart, bro. Be sure to subscribe. Welcome to Walmart, bro.
All right. Oh my gosh, I just thought of. I'm sorry my mind is still on it, but that same voice actor also does Apu. So I just thought of Apu eating bat guano. Speaking of bat guano, John, where can they find you, man?
They can find me at epicvoiceguy and all the things, and I'm going to be reviewing all of the Mission Impossible movies leading up to Fallout coming up soon. I've still got a few movies I'm behind on. Sicario 2, Will You Be My Neighbor, First Purge, and now Skyscraper. So I'm a little behind on reviews, guys, but I've still got some great stuff coming.
I'm very excited for your Mission Impossible reviews.
Thank you. I'm also very excited. I mean,
All right. Ron, I know that you're constantly chilling here, but where else can we see you chill at?
Yo, y'all know me. Follow me on the Stardust. I'm just Ron. And since Instagram likes to be annoying to me, follow me on the Instagram under Ron Smith. Y'all know what it is. Come on. I ain't too hard to find. Come find me.
You can also find him in Tatooine at the Sand People Pep rallies.
That's where you know what the real people are. That's where you know what the real party is.
That took me a second. That was a good pull.
If everything works
Gonna
out,
be the
I'll
running gag of
starting-
every episode.
All right, Kyle, you are the newest person.
If everything
Where can
if
we find
everything
you?
works out, I'll be creating a Stardust soon.
Oh.
Love to have you on the
Join
app.
in.
I don't have one yet.
Which, by the way, thank you, Kyle. You just reminded me of something important. Speaking of Stardust, we're going to start pulling our improv question directly from Stardust. So we would love it if you guys could give us
Ooh.
ideas and reactions, maybe the comments on our videos. We'd love to take stuff like that. And speaking of Stardusters, before I mention me, I want to give shout-outs to minutemoviepop and ImperfectVanity. Mel and Stephanie, we absolutely love you, and we're sorry you couldn't be on the
Aww. Thanks, Jake, for supporting us. We love you, but I mean it.
I want to smell everyone's comments.
Wow, that got weird. All right. Welcome to Walmart.
I'm Dr. Knealetapus. You can find me here and on Stardust. We love you, and welcome to Walmart, yo.
Welcome to Walmart, yeah.
Yo, shout out to Chris.
We're in Sand People. Walmart. Just add that on the end. Brought to you by Walmart.
For
Walmart, you
no
listening?
reason whatsoever.
Walmart, you listening?
When
Oh my
if Disney